My name is Blythe, and I am setting off to do the Tahoe Rim Trail. It's my first ever through hike, first ever solo camping trip, and I figured why not have it be my first ever vlog attempt too. In preparing for this, all of the vlogs that are out there and the Facebook groups and Reddit and everything have been so helpful. So figured I should try to pay it back a little bit, pay it forward, and add my own 2 cents of maybe some practical stuff about what it is to hike the Tahoe Rim Trail. I will be doing it counterclockwise. I've done about 2/3 of the route in day hikes, and from that experience, I think that doing it counterclockwise is better than clockwise, in my personal opinion. And I am starting from Tahoe City, really just for personal reasons. I'm gonna try to not get into a vehicle the whole way. So starting in Tahoe City made sense for me, even though it's a great resupply point. So probably most people wouldn't start here. It's not the most practical. And I had a little bit of a road walk to get to the trailhead along the bike pedestrian path. And now I've been walking along the Truckee River, and here I am about to head up the trail into Page Meadows, and then down to Ward Canyon and on up to the rim. Not much shade here in the few kind of flattish miles. We're kind of following along Ward Creek because they've cut down most of the trees in this section, really thinned it out. And of course that's for fire prevention. And you can understand why they would do it in Ward Canyon, because this is one way to access the populated areas. So it would be nice to have more shade, but I'm also really glad they've done it to keep people safe. In FarOut, this is mile 167. Describes it as a dry creek bed. Very much not. Lunch break. Insect repellent. Very necessary. Hoping I don't run out before Desolation Wilderness. This is a bridge over Ward Creek that FarOut said, oh, really easy to get down to the creek, no problem. I wish I had just taken water from a couple of little places that we literally crossed over on the trail. One of them's like unmarked, it's like 1/10 of a mile back, but it's okay. It made it down to the water, beautiful water. Probably wouldn't even need to filter it. Had myself some lunch. Life's good at the moment. Well, now I've got 3.5 miles of pretty steep climbing coming up. I gotta go all the way up there. With the Tahoe Rim Trail, the lowest point on it is Tahoe City. So either way you go, no matter where you start, you have a lot of climbing to do out of Tahoe City. And because it's a great resupply spot, you're gonna have a heavy load. Personally, I prefer the climb going counterclockwise because there is water along it. I went like the first 4 miles, there's no water. Then I sort of followed along Ward Creek. Now I'm gonna have a stretch with no water, although there is like a spur. If I really needed it, I could go get water. But I think it's like 6.5 miles to the next water source from here. It is steeper going this way. Again, I rather have the steep part be the climb, not the descent. And there's snow on the northern side. So people have told me that to expect a snow patch coming up here. Hopefully not too bad, but again, it's easier to navigate that sort of thing going uphill than downhill, I think. So that's part of my preference for counterclockwise. But I've run into some thru hikers who are going the other way, and I just love that. I love that about the Tahoe Rim Trail, that there's people going in both directions, and you get to see other people and check in with them where they've been and what the conditions are like. Look at that. people coming. Through hikers. I was down there and now I'm up here. All right, here we go. I'm at about 82, 8,300, somewhere in there. There's that group of hikers, I asked them how this was, and they were like, you have all trails? Yep. And you're gonna need it. But I don't know. So far it's not looking too bad, but it's switchbacks up here, so you can imagine it could get kind of confusing if you didn't have GPS. Honestly, not that bad. I wouldn't want to do it going downhill. But basically, it's a bunch of switchbacks. Instead of taking the switchbacks, I just went up. And now I'm back on the trail and should be nearing the top. I made it to the top. There's Lake Tahoe. And over there is Desolation Wilderness. Guess there's still some snow on the north side. Awesome. Now entering Granite Chief Wilderness, which I think means I am leaving behind mountain bikers for a very long time. I didn't even notice that we joined up with the PCT. If there was a sign in my direction, I didn't see it. Here we are. Some rocky switchbacks going down. North Fork of Blackwood Creek. Good morning. Day 2. Saying goodbye to my campsite. It was really the perfect campsite. I really lucked out there. North Fork of Blackwood Creek. It's a beautiful view of the lake over there. Tons of campsites. Easy water. Not too buggy. I decided not to stress this morning, just take my time. And it's about 8:30, just before 8:30, which maybe sounds early, but there's been a ton of PCT hikers going by. They're a lot quicker at getting going than I am. I made it up the ridge. Notice that there's not signage for people going southbound on the PCT. That's where I'm gonna head. This Blackwood Canyon. Barker Pass is over there somewhere. Oh, you can see the road. I do trail magic up at top of Barker Pass a lot, so there's actually a paved road that goes up there. You can see it right there. I made it to Barker Pass, which means outhouse, which was amazing. Now this is normally where I do trail magic, and last week, the 2 times I came up to do trail magic, there was someone parked right here, already doing trail magic. So I thought maybe it would be today too, but no. But that's okay. I am finding that I'm extremely hungry, so probably need to go back into my bear can and get out even more food than I anticipated. But it was funny because, like I said, I was up here 3 times last week, and at this very picnic bench, and I remember thinking, wow, I'm gonna come through here. What's that gonna be like? How am I gonna be feeling? Am I gonna need to abort at that point and go down? But honestly, no, I feel great. This is just wonderful. So, well, everything's going to plan. I feel really good. And I think I'm about to lose cell phone service until tomorrow at Dick's Pass, so just been taking advantage of the last little bit of cell service. I'm about to head off right over there. Look at this. Are you guys doing trail maintenance?
We are.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I'm loving the trail.
Yay.
Take care. This is Barker Creek. Beautiful water source. I don't take the cold, amazing water for granted. You know, it's a little bit of a pain to have to squat down, filter it and all that, but it's just beautiful. And there's not going to be any of that on the east side of the lake. One thing I'm just loving is passing all the PCT hikers. I mean, I'm probably passing between 5 and 10 PCT hikers an hour. And they're going the other way, of course. And that's one of the joys of doing the Tahoe Rim Trail in, late June. It's a low snow year, so late June is a good time. And then they'll keep going through the first half of July. That said, I am very glad to be going in the opposite direction of them because they're hiking much faster than me. And I think I would find it disheartening if they were constantly passing me going in the same direction. But this way, doesn't matter how fast they're going. Just wave at each other when we go by. And I've seen some TRT hikers too. You can easily tell the difference because the TRT hikers are cleaner and not tan. The PCT people look like they've been outdoors for months, but they all have smiles on their faces. They're having a great time. So that's great. It's a great energy out here on the trail. There it is, Richardson Lake. Desolation Wilderness. I've actually never been in Desolation Wilderness because it requires a permit and it's accessible from South Lake. And I don't normally go to South Lake. And getting a permit sounds complicated, so I'm excited. This is the section of the trail that I've never done, and it's gonna be really fun to visit. That's Rubicon Reservoir, I think. And that over there is what Desolation Wilderness looks like. It has delivered. I'm very tired of going uphill. But just one foot ahead of the other. I'm really frustrated with myself that I'm not making faster progress. And then to remind myself that the trail looks like this. So it's a little extra work. One of the charming things about hiking is sometimes you trade information with the people who are going the other way. And there was a guy a couple miles back who said that Middle Velma, great place to camp, and there were some great camp spots right next to a stream, and you could hear the stream, and the water was flowing quickly, so there weren't any mosquitoes there. That is not where I am currently. I'm in a swamp. I was almost about to camp down there in a swamp. And instead, look at this. How awesome is this? It's perfect. Can't get a tent stake in, but you don't need it. Oh. Success. Good morning. Day 3. I slept pretty well up until about 4 a.m. and it started to rain. Rained for about half an hour. Not bad. Tent stayed standing. But then I was pretty much woken up and figured I'd get up before the mosquitoes start buzzing, but they're already starting to buzz. I only have another minute and I am covered in mosquito bites. Oh my God. Oh shit. Yeah. We gotta go inside the tent. All right. Had my coffee, most of it. I am all packed up except for the tent. So let me describe the game plan. So there is a woman behind me named Rebecca. I've never met, but we connected the night before I left through a Facebook group where she also left Tahoe City on the same day I did, but a few hours behind me. And so when we texted, she said, do you want to go over Dick's Pass together? On the philosophy that it is snowy and, you know, be safe to have someone with you. Honestly, I can't imagine it's going to be worse than Twin Peaks because that was before we joined up with the PCT. So there wasn't like a set trail. This is going to have like a million foot marks on it and stuff. But, you know, it was like, yeah, that's a great idea. And I knew we weren't going to have cell phone service. So my first night, I texted her and I said, hey, why don't we aim to meet at Fontanillis Lake at 10 a.m. on Thursday? So my strategy is go ahead and pack up now, head up there, and just enjoy a few hours next to that lake. No sign of Rebecca, but check out this view. Just got a text from Rebecca that said, I'm at the top of Dick's Pass. It's 5 minutes to 10. No biggie. I said in my message, we'd try to meet up at 140.6 at 10 o'clock, and if one of us wasn't there, not a problem. So that's fine. She just felt like continuing on. And this has been my spot where I've been waiting. Great people watching. Trail marker ahead for Dick's Pass. So that is Dick's Lake, and behind it is Dick's Peak. And in the FarOut app, there are a lot of dick pic jokes. So this is mine. That's a dick pic right there. Double dick pic. Trail's over there, but it switches back and it comes up here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and risk it and come up this way. Looks like there's at least some people who've done the same thing. Honestly, I find this kind of thing fun because it actually requires some thought, you know. I don't know how people do it without GPS. All trails. I mean, the FarOut app doesn't have the elevation lines, which are helpful, but it's like, okay, the trail is up there. Do I go that way and risk overshooting it? Looks like there's no snow there. There's a little snow up there. Or do I come down here and more sure bet of hitting it, but then there's snow higher up there. Sun's right there. It used to be that way. I think this way is the better bet. It's less steep. And I think it probably gets more sun. All right, switchback's done. I skipped them. Really barely touched any snow. I mean, None. That was an easier climb than Twin Peaks was. And now I'm at 91.46. So I've got just over 200 feet of elevation gain to go. This is gonna switch back here and then it's just gonna climb straight up to the pass.
Go, Charlie, go.
Honestly, they kind of take it like people do.
Oh, no, no. Go. I guarantee it is gold in one of these boxes. That's what happens with scouts.
Oh my goodness. It's Desolation Wilderness. But we're going all the way down there. This is going to be a lot of elevation loss very quickly. Oh, check out the waterfall. So cool. And so cool hiking down into it. Just passed a guy going the other way and I said, oh my God, it's so amazing. He was like, what is? And I was like, well, you look like you could be in a postcard if you could see behind you. I'm coming for you, Susie Lake. This is a slog. It's tough. It's pretty steep. I don't know, but it's like this, shredded up rock. Hard on the joints, and I'm down. That was a long way down, man. I'm at 7,600 feet. Top of the pass was 9,400. So anyways, at the top of the pass, I was not tired at all. Like, I was good. But now my knees hurt. But what goes down must go up. And now I've got a little bit of a climb up to Susie Lake and then up to Aloha. Susie Lake. And up there, where I just came from, Dick's Pass. Coming out of Susie Lake. I am sitting down right there and putting my feet in. This is Harriet Lake. Now we're gonna go around it. We've already been walking along it. Up, I think there, and over a ridge. And up there is Lake Aloha. That's a pretty big waterfall. Oh, I'm now climbing to Aloha. This actually is a good portion of the trail. The trail is often either a stream and or totally covered in rocks. There's some sections where it's like boulders, and looking at it, I'm like, how did the horses do this? And there is horse poop along here periodically to affirm that yes, indeed, the horses did do this. So if a horse can do it, you can do it. is. Aloha. 7 o'clock in the evening, so I've got an hour and a half daylight left. Hour comfortable. And I've got this campsite on Aloha Lake. There it is, right down there. And lest anyone think I'm not responsible about bears by eating in my tent, I'm very careful not to spill, and that right there next to the tent is my bear can. Obviously I will hide it better when I go to bed, but I'm not stupid. I would not leave anything scented in that tent even for a few minutes unattended in this area. So I'm gonna go explore a little bit. There's the video cover shot right there. Unbelievable.